Okay, here we go, number 7. I'm given this angle B is 69, so I'm going to label this my opposite, this my hypotenuse, and this my adjacent side. It says define sides B and C, so since this is across from angle B, this will be angle B, and this will be angle C. I chose to find B first, okay, this side first. What the heck? Okay, solid. So I chose to find that side first. All right, you could find C first. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna have to find both anyway. So finding that side, that's my opposite side, and I want to use what I'm given. So I want to use that 14, which is my adjacent. So opposite and adjacent is tangent. So I'm gonna do the tangent. Holy buckets, it's a struggle. Here we go. Let's try that again. The tangent of 69 equals B over 14. All right, I'll put this over 1 and cross multiply. And cross multiply here. So that means B is equal to 14 times the tangent of 69, which ends up being about 36.47. Okay. Now to find side C, I can do 2 things here. I can use the Pythagorean theorem, or I could use trig again. I'm going to use trig again. In this case, I would use A and H, so that's going to be cosine. So I would take the cosine of 69 equals 14 over C, and put that over 1, and cross multiply, and say the cosine of 69 times C equals 14, and divide by the cosine of 69, and divide by the cosine of 69. So I would do 14 divided by the cosine of 69 for side C, and you should get about 39.07. Angle A, well, I know 2 angles in my triangle, so if I know 2 angles in my triangle, I can subtract from 180 to find the other 2, so I do 180 minus 90 minus 69 and get 21 degrees. Okay. Let's find our missing angle here. So I'll call this X. I'll label this side the opposite. This would be my opposite. This would be the hypotenuse. That would be the adjacent. This is going to be side C when I get there. All right, so if I'm using O and A, that's tangent. So I'm going to take the tangent of X equals 9 over 25. Since I'm finding a missing angle, I use the inverse of 9 divided by 25. And I got, for angle B, I got 19.80 or just 19.8 degrees. Okay. To find angle A, I would do 180 minus that. So 180 minus 19.8 minus 20, or excuse me, 90 to get angle A, which got me 70.2. Now again, to find side C, I could do this 2 ways, and on the key I showed both. Here I'm just going to show the trig way. All right, to use the trig, I would use, what do I got here? I want to find C, so C is my H. I can use sine, O and H. I would do sine of my angle, which is 19.8, equals O, which is 9, over H, which is my C. Now I could have also done cosine as well. I could, but if you chose to do cosine, it would have been cosine of 19.8 equals 25 over C. No matter what, in both of these, all right, in both of these, I'm going to be dividing. All right, so they're both division problems. All right. I'm going to have to divide my side by the sine of my angle. So here I'll divide 9 by the sine of 19.8. And then in the other way, I would divide 25 by the cosine of 19.8. No matter what, you should get about 26.57 for side C. So when you're solving, it says solve each right triangle. That means find all sides and all angles. Okay. We got 2 word problems here. All right, so you are 30 meters from the base of a tree. The angle of elevation from the ground to the top of the tree is 61 degrees. Find the height of the tree. So here's the tree. It says the angle of elevation is 61 degrees. Here you are standing. All right, you are 30 meters from the base. I want to find the x. Okay, so that means if I label my sides, this is my reference angle, this is my O, this is my A, this is my hypotenuse, O and A. I'm looking at O and A, that means I'm looking at tangent. So I'm going to do tangent of 61 equals x over 30. Put that over 1. Cross multiply. X equals 30 times the tangent of 61, which is about 54.12 meters. All right. Next one, number 10, it says a ladder is leading up against the house. So, like, if you look at the key, you'll see my picture is very detailed, all right? You don't have to draw a detailed picture. You can just draw a right triangle, and that's totally fine, okay? So where's the ladder going to be? It's probably going to be this diagonal, right? Ladders are always diagonal. All right, so if it says a ladder is leading up against the house with a 48 degrees with the ground, so there's my 48 degrees. The foot of the ladder is 7 feet from the house. So the foot of the ladder is going to be down here. So this is going to be my 7 feet. How long is the ladder? So there's my x. All right. Remember, your angle always goes in this bottom left-hand corner, just like that. Assuming you draw your triangle like that. If you drew your triangle like this, your angle would go down here. All right, always in the bottom. Okay. From there, I take the 48 and label my opposite side, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. All right, I have adjacent and hypotenuse. So I'm doing the cosine of 48 equals a over h, which is 7 over x. Put this over 1. Cross multiply. I get cosine of 48 times x equals 7, and then divide by the cosine of 48. Divide by cosine of 48. And so if I do, so these sides cancel, and then I get about 10.46 feet. All right, that is number 10. All set.